Good morning, everybody. It's Kathy again. It's Thursday, March 26, 2020. I am a Canadian CPA, Chartered Professional Accountant in London, Ontario, Canada. And today I want to update on the 10% wage subsidy for employers in Canada that's happening right now. The legislation came through yesterday, and so we have some more details on it. So if you're an employee, you might not want to listen to this because it might just confuse you. This applies to employers. Okay, and I have notes today because there's so much I want to make sure I get right. Okay, so it's a 10% wage subsidy. That's the same as we announced last week. It applies to, here are the organizations that it applies to, and this is a part that has been clarified better now. It applies to corporations, so generally small and medium corporations that are formed as a CCPC, so Canadian controlled private corporation with taxable capital of less than $15 million. If you don't know if this is the kind of corporation that you are, you need to talk to your own accountant or lawyer. It does apply to sole proprietors. We were not sure about this last week. They were actually excluded last week, but now it's been, I think there was such an uproar that they're included now. So if you're not sure if you're a sole proprietor, it's you operate a business, you do not do a separate corporate tax return, your revenue and your expenses from your business go through your personal tax return on the business statement T2125 is what it's called. So this is for sole proprietors who have employees. So you do a payroll and you deduct source deductions, and once a month or once a quarter you send those source deductions in to CRA. And also similarly, unincorporated partnerships. So similar to a sole proprietor, you've got 2 people, maybe 3 people, and you have a payroll. You have employees, you run payroll, you send source deductions in. This would also apply to if you have a rental property business where you have employees on a payroll. Okay, and also not-for-profits. These are official not-for-profits that are all registered and have a payroll, and registered charities. I'm just okay. I just had a pop-up that I have a client coming in 15 minutes. Okay, so these organizations had to be in existence as of March 18th. You had to have payroll, the RP account set up with CRA as of March 18th. And again, the subsidy is $1,375 per employee maximum, and $25,000 subsidy maximum per employer. The way you get this is, same as I said in a prior video, is you short pay the income tax portion of your source deductions to CRA when you do that. So one thing that I wanted to point out, if you are a small business that has a bunch of part-timers where they all work so few shifts and earn so little money per payroll period that none of them get income tax deducted from their paycheck. And this happens if they're like a $100 or $200 paycheck, they're not going to have any income tax deducted. You're not going to be able to claim this wage subsidy. Yeah, it's a really awkward situation. So I don't know. I just want to point that out. If you go to do your source deductions and you're like, hey, I don't have any income tax, how am I going to do this? Yeah, you're out of luck. You can't do it. And I don't know how that'll be addressed. I don't think they're going to address it. But who knows? Things change by the day. And okay, also wanted to point out, if you're a sole proprietor, so your revenues minus your expenses for your business go through your personal tax return, and then you get a net income, and that's the amount that you claim as income on your personal tax return. That does not apply to this wage subsidy, okay? The wage subsidy for sole proprietorships is only if you run a payroll. You have employees that you withhold source deductions for. The net income that you earn that shows on your personal tax return, it's not payroll. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, again, you need to talk to your own accountant or tax preparer about that. Final thing, this wage subsidy is taxable. Yeah, that kind of feels like a kick in the butt, but it is taxable. So you're going to need to report the total wage subsidy that you claimed on your next year's tax return, or on your next tax return, whenever that is. So if you're a sole proprietor, it'll be a year from now. If you're a corporation that has a non-December 31st year end, your year end is when your year end is, and you'll need to report this on that next corporate tax return. So if you use a payroll service and they give you a report every pay run, and it'll have a page in there with the journal entry, and they'll do this for you. But if you're small and you do it yourself, or your bookkeeper does it, what you're going to do, if you're doing it by a journal entry, instead of credit income tax payable for the whole amount, say it was $500 of income tax you have owing to CRA, instead of going credit income tax payable $500, you would, and say the 10% wage subsidy is $100, then you would say credit income tax payable $400 and credit other income. You can put it in other income or start a new account called wage subsidy income, $100. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if it's too confusing, just make lots of notes, lots and lots of notes, because a year from now, when we're all through this, which I know we will get through it, you're not going to remember what you did. So just make lots and lots of notes to give to your bookkeeper, accountant, tax preparer. Okay, so that is everything on that. And yeah, carry on. Sorry I cannot answer individual questions. It's tax season. I'm working with my own clients, and as well, sorry, I really don't see that I can take on new clients right now. Maybe a month or two from now, I don't know, but yeah, we're just doing the best we can. So I hope this was helpful. Sorry I'm not smiling today. We just got a ton of information yesterday. So this is my employer video, and I'm going to do another one for workers in a sec. Thanks.